Hello and welcome back. This is the second analysis video of practice game number 9. As I said before, I'm planning to make several analysis videos of this game because this turned out to be by far the most exciting game on this channel so far. I urge you very strongly to watch the game in its entirety and watch all the analysis videos as well, but definitely watch the entire game before you watch any of the analysis videos. Now, at another stage, I should say, during the game, White ended up in this particular situation where he had a checker that was hit, and well, this is the situation you see here was the predicament White found himself in. Now, I have to explain some important things here. If at this point Black offered a simple loss to White, as in no gammoning, just a White, it's just a loss, I should say. So no gammoning, just a loss. The vast majority of people would accept that, because if they did not accept that, White is really facing a potential gammoning here. I mean, look at the situation. But on this channel, we're not going to accept simple losses. Even if we play on and in situations like this it ends up in a gammoning, well, so be it, because sometimes if you don't accept the loss and continue playing, it actually can turn out very, very exciting with reversals of fortune, just like what happened in this game. This game is as exciting as it comes in Backgammon. Anyway, so White actually missed out on a couple of turns before this very stage here, and that allowed Black to take a couple of checkers off the board. That's what I mean, with a couple of checkers off the board, and White being in this situation, as I said, the vast majority would accept a loss. Incidentally, before we go into further analysis, I should also say that if you play your game the way I play on this channel, as in being conservative, playing on the cautious side, making the best out of what the dice gives you, you will rarely end up in a situation like this. See, I play both Black and White in my own style. I don't play conservatively with one side and in a risky way with another side. I play conservatively on both sides. So if you play conservatively and cautiously and make the very best of what the dice gives you, most of the time your opponent is not going to play like that. So therefore, playing sensibly means that you will rarely find yourself in a situation like this. I mean, this game, despite the fact that I played conservatively on both sides, it turned out to be most interesting rolls of the dice. It just so rarely happens when both sides play sensibly. So I thought I'd explain that. You will rarely find yourself in this kind of predicament if you play the way I do. But anyway, let's continue. Sorry to kind of ramble on there, but these explanations before we make this analysis were rather important, so I thought I'd make these clarifications. White then rolled a 6 and a 2. Now, he got back in with a 6 after missing out a couple of turns, which you will see in the full game. And if at this stage White runs, well, it's not a good idea. Not a good idea. Rather leave that checker there for doing a hit, because running means an almost certain loss, even if it's not a gammoning. So then White proceeded to play 6 with this checker, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 here. So that was a 6 and a 2 for White. Then Black rolled an incredibly, horribly unlucky 6 and 4. And by the way, the rolls, the reason I know the rolls, I've actually watched, before making these analysis videos, I watched the video of the original game and I've noted all the rolls on a separate piece of paper on a notepad that you can't see to my left. Anyway, black rolled a 6 and a 4, which was a disaster roll, because black, even if he takes a 4 off here, he still has to take the 6 off there as well and leave that checker on its own. So because black has no choice but to leave the checker on its own, what I did, I took the 6 off there and played the 4 here, which would normally be a blitz, and I don't like playing the blitz at all, but had no choice in this case, because black had no choice but to leave a checker on its own. Which the dividends paid off for white immediately, because white then, black rolls an unlucky 6 and a 4. A 6 and a 4 is normally a good roll, but not here. Then white rolls a very lucky 4 and a 2. 4 and a 2 is always, almost always a good roll. Excellent roll in this case, because white hit with the 2. Now he's got a checker on its own here, so he went 1, 2, 3, 4, covered this checker. What happened next? Black rolled a 6 and a 3, unlucky 6 and a 3, couldn't get him with a 6 and a 3. Then white rolled a very lucky double 5. It's one unlucky roll after another for black and one lucky roll after another for white. Double 5, I've said this in previous videos, it's the second worst roll in my opinion that you can have. The worst roll in my opinion being a 2 and a 1. Double 5 is rarely a good roll. In this case it was brilliant, because white very conveniently went 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here, just creating all sorts of problems for black. Black then rolled a 5 and a 4, where he went 5 and then 1, 2, 3, 4. Ran with that checker, which is not a bad move. I just thought it's better to run rather than play a 4, or, play a 4, say, there. So, and also by going 1, 2, 3, 4, black had less of a chance of being hit with that checker, whereas if he'd left it on its own here, there were several checkers that he could have been hit with, hit and primed. So it was better to run to minimize the chances of getting hit. However, look what happens next. Lo and behold, white rolls again a very good 6 and a 3. So hits with the 3 and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 in order not to leave that checker on its own. Again, black in trouble. Black then rolls a 6 and a 1, can't get in. So white rolls a 6 and a 4, with which he runs with this checker. So 4 and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 here, which is fine. Let's run with that one, get it as close to his own quarter as possible. Black then rolls a 5 and a 3, which is not too bad because he can get in, but he can't run with the 3. So he's got to leave that checker on its own there and possibly suffer a hit and a prime. Cannot run because 3's blocked off here. So he plays 1, 2, 3 here. And white rolls a double 3. White rolls a double 3 and goes 1, 2, 3. Absolutely seals black's fate for the time being. Then 1, 2, 3 and 1, 2, 3 here. Well, what can black do but sit there and watch white do several rolls from here on? And then after that, white rolled a 5 and a 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then took that one off the board. I will cover the rest of the moves, or the next section of that game, in yet another video, because I just wanted to dedicate a separate video for you to see what just happened here and the absolute reversals of fortune where, well, you know, I mean, several moves ago, if black had offered a loss without a gambling, white would almost certainly have accepted it, and white would have, in a real life situation, would have taken a huge gamble by not accepting that offer. As I said, we do not do that on this channel. We keep playing in order to strike exciting situations like this. I'm not going to spoil it for you. If you go and watch the full video of practice game number 9, you'll see what happens from here onwards. So I'm not going to spoil it for you by saying who won. It certainly looks like a likely victory for white here. I mean, black's taken 3 checkers off, white's taken 1 checker off, but he's going to continue rolling for a while. So it looks like a victory for white, and in many cases it would be a victory for white, but who knows? As I said, I'm not going to spoil it for you, so in the next video we will play on from that stage so you can see what happened from there and whether there was a reversal of fortunes or whether it went in black's favour or whether white indeed did have a comfortable victory from there. We will see what happens from that stage on in the next video. Wow, what an exciting game. I can't stop saying that. As I said, this is as good as games, exciting games in backgammon come. This is as good as it gets. So thank you again for watching, and I will see you in the next analysis video.